Welcome back. And in our top business story, the Department of Economic Development held an open meeting with a number of contracting companies in the capital to discuss the Contractors Classification System 2 for the year 2009 and the proposed amendments to be approved by the authorities. DED officials discussed with the representatives the major challenges which the contracting companies operating in Abu Dhabi face in a bid to identify their requirements a year on since the new rules and regulations were enforced. Engineer Ahmed Abdul Rahman Al-Burkani, the director of the Contractors and Consulates Classification and Engineers Registration Office, said that enforcing the new classification systems have contributed to modifying the conditions of several construction firms. This comes in line with the technical, legal and administrative changes required in the upcoming period, which is expected to witness continual construction development across Abu Dhabi. Property developers are seeing a significant rise in demand for premium residential projects across the Middle East. In a press release, Damac Properties stated that the Middle East is suffering from a significant shortage of quality residential properties for investment and end use, which may continue for several years, adding that they are now seeing investors shift their focus to projects which are more than 60% complete. Neil McLaughlin, the Senior Vice President, stated that people now expect a lot more for their money, which is prompting developers to pay greater attention to the standard of facilities in developments. He added that projects in the UAE have set a high standard for quality, and customers in other regional markets, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Lebanon and Jordan, are now demanding the same level of quality and luxury. UAE firm Gantoot is set to invest 1.8 billion dirhams into a number of water, power and hospitality projects in Oman, according to a company statement. The release stated that this year, the group will develop 2 power plants, the first to be set up in Ras Al Khaimah, which will supply electricity to Musandam, and the other to be set up in central Oman. Additionally, the group is set to invest in 3 hotels in areas such as desalination, transmission, distribution and oil and gas. 2,000 jobs are hoped to be created for Omani nationals for the projects. Rashid Al-Balushi, the managing director of Gantoot Group, said that they are currently in discussions with government bodies in Oman to finalise the proposal. And with that, let's now take a look at the stock indices across the GCC. Markets were extremely volatile last week following the postponed announcement that Greece would receive their bailout on February the 15th. The meeting has been postponed until today, and the markets have been given a nice boost on the optimism that a Greek deal is very much on the cards. Well, we spoke with Gaurav Kashyap, the head of DGCX desk, for his view on this week's trading.
Well, Laura, markets have opened this Monday's trading session on a rather positive note for 2 different reasons. We have the Troika meeting up in Brussels today to announce the finalization of Greece's second bailout program worth 130 billion euros. Now, remember, this was due last week on February 15th, but unfortunately, those talks were postponed until this Monday on the back of additional austerity measures from the Greek government. Now, the optimism has returned back into the markets. The euro has moved higher against the US dollar, and we're generally seeing optimism that the deal will be announced in trading today. If this is in case the situation, then we should see the euro moving up and testing that 100-day moving average around 133, where it'll find resistance around 133.50 against the US dollar. Along with the optimism, we saw that China reduced their reserve ratio requirement by 50 basis points. This act against inflation also saw high-yielding assets moving higher across the board. But overall, once again, this week trading will be dominated by the Greek talks. The optimism around those that announcement will see risk markets moving higher. It will see the euro moving higher across the board, and the US dollar, which is a safe haven, will remain weaker. We're also going to be watching the performance of the Japanese yen, which is also another safe haven. Last week, we saw the announcement by the Bank of Japan that they would increase their stimulus package by 10 trillion yen. This naturally would see the yen weaken across the board. So we're looking at probably shorting opportunities in the yen around above 79.50 levels.